After show. After show. After show.
We just do a lot of cleanup with these.
Oh, my bruise is still like very evident.
Ooh, yeah, it's like green.
It's like starting to bulge a little bit.
Oof.
So the bruise from falling through the attic.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
that happened.
interesting project.
Interesting, huh?
Interesting. Yeah. So we kind of went a little bit back and forth about the whole falling through the ceiling thing.
Mm-hmm.
We recorded like our entire podcast is about the falling through the ceiling and our thoughts on like whether or not to include it in the video. And all
The
stuff we
podcast
did
coming
there.
out in a few days, just because we had a lot to talk about.
And it was too much to fit into a normal after show. And it was all focused around that one thing. So
Yeah. So I think that we'll mainly try to focus on the project here, and then we'll focus, in our podcast coming out in a few days. That's when we'll do a deep dive into like the fall, the back and forth about whether we should include it, whether we shouldn't, like whether like Lowe's is going to be okay with it.
Yeah.
And like.
Which we
Just
still
kind of-
don't know, by the way.
Oh no, I think they just replied.
Really?
Saying I think it's okay.
Oh, okay.
Taylor's our contact at
At the agency?
the agency said it looks good.
Oh, okay. Well, that
Okay.
makes me feel a little bit better because, like, I don't want to re-edit that thing.
No.
I've had to watch you fall through the ceiling in slow motion enough times.
Too many times.
Too many times.
Man, the first time we watched it, it was like really tough to watch. Because like you just know.
It was still very raw. Like it was, it's kind of funny looking back on it, but it was really scary in the moment. And it was like super late and we had to do all of this cleaning and all this extra work. And
I mean, like we have found the humor in it. I'm not sure if it's like funny inherently, but it's ironic and there's humor within the situation.
yes. Yeah. But again, we talk about all of this in the podcast coming out in a few days, so we can talk about some other behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah, I think that again, I think that every time we do a home improvement project, we, once we're done with it, we're like, yes, that was time well spent.
And when we're in the middle of it, we're like, this sucks. I don't want to be doing this.
But I think that's the same for everybody.
For home improvement projects?
Yeah, probably,
I
right?
don't know. I don't think so.
Yeah, true. Because like,
I mean, we're just listening to like the Making It podcast, and I don't know if you listened to the most recent one, but they're talking about, for some people,
yeah,
what you might like doing is like, I really like making furniture, so I don't want to spend time doing drywall. Some people might really like, demo or like home construction, but they don't really have any interest in furniture, so.
Or they like seriously need the space, and it's like 100% necessary for them to do it.
There's a difference between like doing it because you need to do it and doing it because you enjoy the work.
That's true. I mean,
like-
and we do need it a large amount.
We do need it. It's kind of, sorry, I just like gaze into the distance
Yeah.
all of our stuff.
We're surrounded. We're completely surrounded. And it's the project we're about to start working on literally right after we finish recording this video. We're not even going to edit it. We're just going to start filming our garage reorganizational video because, oh my gosh, it is so,
It's so
urgent.
needed. Yeah. That's a project that is much needed. But I
Yeah.
actually think I am going to enjoy it.
Yeah, especially because there's AC in here.
Yeah.
My gosh,
Oh.
I just like thank our past selves all the time
For installing
the AC. We spend so much time out here, and it'd be so miserable without it. It was such a good investment.
It was so hot in the attic. Even with us working at night, like by the second day, we
Yep.
figured out, okay, if we work at night, it's like 10 times better, but it was still really, really bad. And it was interesting because we were only working at nights, it was hard to complete this project, and we ate up a lot of our lead because we didn't want to work on it during the day, which, I mean, sounds obvious, but like it was kind of difficult only being able to work on it at night. And then if something was going on.
At night, it was just hot, warm, and unpleasant. If we worked on it during the day, it'd be like danger
dangerous.
of passing out. We'd have to have like water bottles up there that we somehow keep clean and like hydrate with and everything like that, because we would just be like, it would have been so unpleasant.
Yeah.
So unpleasant.
Yeah, it was so hot. Yeah.
Yeah.
PTSD about the hotness.
Yeah, we did the attic insulation up there during a hot period of time too, and that was just miserable. Anyways,
And the Ethernet.
The storage, the attic storage.
Yes.
How did that project come about? Lowe's wanted.
Lowe's had one of their categories was storage and organization. So we're like, okay, we'll do 2 of those this quarter.
Yeah, garage and attic. Yeah, so we brought this upon ourselves.
Yeah, we brought this upon ourselves 100%. Sounded like a great idea. Now that we're done, I'm like, yeah, that was a great idea.
Yeah.
It is super nice. I will admit, by the time we were actually putting the bins up there, I was like, it was super late. We didn't want to have to film another day, but we couldn't just put empty bins up there, so I just like threw a bunch of stuff in there. I threw like our Halloween and Christmas decorations, and then I was like, well, there's also like one more box or a couple more boxes of holiday stuff, but I have to like split it and go through it, and I didn't have time to do it, so I just put some throw pillows. I just put some throw pillows in the extra containers because I was like, one pillow will fill up the whole thing, and it's gonna look nice and full, and then I'll swap it out. And now I'm like, I'm not gonna swap it out till it's fall.
Yeah. But yeah, we're still storing stuff we're not using in a proper place. It's just like
we're
an
not
attic
using those
instead
pillows.
of a closet. So.
Yeah, for some reason it feels weird putting pillows in the attic. Just because it's like, they're soft, squishy things that you like can imagine the dust getting on them. But they're not getting dusty. They're in like a sealed container. But still, it feels weird.
It does, yeah.
It feels more weird than like Christmas decorations, which are like tiny, hard objects. I don't know.
I think it's just normalized that Christmas decorations go in the attic, and that's just how
normal.
it is.
Yeah, it's just normal.
Man, and by the end of the project, I wonder if you guys like could sense that we were like wanting to move it along with like just like the clapping through everything. We're like, let's just clap through this.
Get this project done. Yeah. Well, also the stuff we clapped through was like assembling shelves that come with directions on how to assemble them.
Putting bins on the shelves. They weren't like we included everything that added value. And we try to skip through the things that really just didn't. I mean, I don't think anyone was really upset that we didn't show us assembling the shelves.
Riveting content.
Riveting.
Yes.
Yeah.
Although it was kind of funny actually, because you were like lightly ragey after the first one. Because it said you could assemble them without any tools, but it was like really hard to get the holes to go. The poles to get into the hole. I was
smacking it with my fist and stuff, and I'm like
beating it.
Caitlin, can you get the rubber mallet?
Yeah. So that actually might have been kind of entertaining, but wouldn't have been good for Lowe's.
Yeah.
But
that's not why we didn't do it. We just wanted to go fast.
Yeah, we just wanted to go fast.
Let's go fast, man.
Yeah. Yeah. And it was still like a 20-something minute video.
I can't believe how long of a video it is.
Yeah. I mean, the falling through the ceiling added some minutes.
Yeah. Some significant time.
Some significant minutes.
Yeah.
But
like, it overall was a pretty simple project.
Yeah.
Especially if all you're doing is just, like, if you have bad insulation and you just want to install some floors, this whole project could have taken you 30 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we raised up the floors because we had taken the time to blow all that insulation to give us more than just the bat insulation, because the bat insulation was like spotty in our house. It was like they put it some places and not other places.
Wouldn't it have been so funny if we were like, here's how to install attic floors in your ceiling, and like we had a very basic attic with just like the 2x4 joists, and all we did is go up there and screwed things down, and we're like, done. Yeah. I mean, I don't think it would have been a video. It wouldn't have been a video, but like that's literally what it could be for a lot of people.
Yeah, it is a really cool product. Like, it is a little bit more expensive, but they're so solid.
But they're also their solidness to weight ratio is very high.
Yeah. Very solid, not too heavy, and just so easy to install, and like easy to get up the stairs or up the ladder into your attic. Unlike a big piece of plywood. Well,
but like the main thing with the plywood, the thing that didn't really like freak me out, it's just like kind of weird. It's with the 2 foot by 4 foot plywood, You know, the 24-inch spacing of the rafters is like 24-ish inches, you know, plus or minus a half inch. So if you have a 4-foot piece of board that you're putting down there, it could have the proper amount of overlap, like 3/4 inches for each plank,
Yeah,
you know,
that's not guaranteed.
or it could be like 1/8 of an inch, depending on how wobbly they were. Because like up there measuring, some of the things were off by like 0.25 inches, and I wouldn't put it past someone to have it be like 0.5 inches, a little bit
also
squiggle
like
back
how
and
one
forth.
of our ceiling joists was just like, it was most of a 2x4, and then by the end it was like half of a 2x4, like half the wood just splintered off of it, and I was like, that looks safe. Great.
I mean, like what it was is when they were cutting it down at the lumber place, they just ran out of wood there. That was like the outer, like, because when the 2x4s go through the processing plant, the outer ones get kind of shredded. So basically it was an edge piece of the log, and there was like a slice missing from it, but that's because like there wasn't enough wood to make a full 2x4, but they still like
That
shipped it out.
doesn't mean they should use it.
But it wasn't damaged, it was just
I'm not,
missing.
my argument is not like whether or not it's damaged or missing, it's that it should not have been used.
Yeah, that's true. That's
I
true.
don't know, maybe I'm wrong, maybe it's fine. It just, we saw that and we were like,
But also it's like if you're trying to install like the old style of floor there, you would have had difficulties.
yeah. Well, I mean, you would have had difficulties with these too, except we raised ours up, so we had a new platform.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
True.
I'm glad that you could still stand on it even after raising it up.
Yeah.
I was
I'm
kind of
glad
worried
too.
that you wouldn't be able to, but you can.
I can, yeah.
Yeah.
Fairly comfortably.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, I don't think I have to duck or anything.
So we have like a pretty sizable attic. It is standable in several areas. It was a shame that it was just so bad.
Well, but also one thing that's not unfortunate, but like so much more of our attic could be usable, but like to the left, like towards the bedroom side of our attic, like there's like an AC unit in the way, so getting back to the other part of the attic is kind of troublesome. But yeah, I mean, there's plenty of ceiling space there.
Yeah, there is.
know?
I mean, for now, I think with the space we built,
There's plenty. And there's even
plenty of
room to
space.
expand like past the entryway. If we keep on going straight from the stairs, there's even more room there that we can turn into usable space there if we need more.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, as it is right now,
It's pretty darn good.
it's pretty darn good. I feel good about it.
Yeah, I feel good
And we
about
even
it.
have some extra panels. So like during the winter, I haven't told you this, but like during the winter, I might even like go and install some of the extra panels we have straight back. Cause like
Straight back where?
Straight back,
Past
like
the foyer?
past the foyer, to the back left area.
Are there not like more ducts and lights and stuff back there?
I think that there's like enough space for like usable stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well, we'll see. We'll see if I,
I thought we were
actually.
going to return them.
Oh, we might also do that. We can return them and then we can buy them later. Again, if we need to.
We'll
Anyways,
figure it
it's a boring part of it, but like. Yeah, I mean,
They're
but
nice
there's
though.
other improvements that we didn't even show. Like there's some wobbly bits between the foyer and the living room that like were the thin pieces of wood, and we just took multiple thin pieces of wood, screwed them all together to make one solid piece of wood.
Yeah, well, and we would have done the tiles there too, but you kind of need space to do at least like a 2x2 square to make it worth it. And because of where our ducting was and where different stuff was, we didn't have that amount of space in the little walkway from like the foyer to the living room. So it is just plywood. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I think
that's
the only other behind the scenes thing is like this took us so long, so many days, right?
Yeah, it did eat up a lot of days. Again, because like only working at night, it's
And
hard.
doing
You
it
can
in
only
like
do
2, 3, 4 hour chunks.
You don't want to work up there too late because then you start getting loopy, you fall through ceilings.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think that we're going to move on. We're going to get going on the garage. Anything else you need to say?
Said out everything I need to say. You
Well,
guys will hear more in the podcast.
Yep. Thanks so much for joining us on today's after show, and we'll look forward to seeing you next time. Bye.